Douglas Ogeto serves as the director at Africa Esports Championship. He's also the co-founder and CEO of Ludiworks, a game publishing, game development accelerator, and dedicated game fund committed to growing the video game and esports industry in the continent. Douglas has 9+ years experience in technology, branding, and community building.
Hello Douglas, my name is Kevin. I run a company called No Eyes. Basically we just make games, or rather I make games. And I just wanted to ask you a few questions about esports, the state of games in our country, locally, and just what you think you can maybe do to help me monetize my app and get it into more people's hands.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. My name is Douglas Ogeto. I'm from Africa Esports Championship, Africa's premier esports league. Happy to be here and looking forward to the interaction.
From my end, I think the first question has to be, why do you think it's so hard to convince people to just download the game? Personally, I've had all manner of excuses from it's too big, too many megabytes to finish my data. Yet someone is able to download Facebook, which could be as large as 100 MB, but your game, which is like 10 MB, they're like, nah.
And I think maybe one thought that comes to mind is perhaps the visibility of probably how you've marketed the app. So, someone would be looking at it from, what might I benefit from downloading perhaps your game compared to if I join Facebook, for example. So it's all about the value. Facebook is selling a particular value. So maybe it's all about how did you sell the game and what value are you offering the consumer.
Okay, so basically involving that social aspect could actually help the app sell more.
Correct.
One thing I noticed, like personally, is whenever I'd put in or I'd release an app or a game, the question I'd always get is, how can I compete with other people? So basically people just want a place to just show off how good they are.
I think maybe to that point, people are trying to become competitive. So, when you also look at esports, a lot of these games it's not just about you playing by yourself at home, but also playing with other people in other markets, whether on the continent or outside the continent. So maybe that's something that, you can also add as to the initial value, so that people just feel that they're also connecting with other people.
Have you taken part in esports yourself?
Myself, not as a player, but as a supporter. So through the Africa Esports Championship, we are enabling young people across the continent, over 24 African countries. So the idea behind Africa Esports Championship is these countries run national leagues, a national league in different titles. So in 2019, we did FIFA, Tekken, Street Fighter. Last year, we now, with the C19, we took it virtually. We have 4 titles, FIFA, Tekken, PUBG, and League of Legends. So we're supporting players with the love of these games, not only just to play, but also be able to take themselves to the next level, through their skills, because by becoming better skill players, they can join clubs globally. We've seen young Kenyans who have been signed up by clubs to play and represent other global teams. And then 2, with prize money to the winners, that means that, for a winner who takes home the prize money, they can use that money to, maybe start a business, pay for school fees, or something that they might want to further themselves with.
Some participant who took part in the esports tournament somewhere abroad won the prize, but then the taxation basically cut that prize money in half. So the advice that basically some financial analysts were giving was that he should have started a company to now funnel that money through so that it wouldn't get taxed as much. So is that something that would be a concern here, especially with the kind of taxes we have to pay?
Yes, I mean, that's a valid concern. We do hope that it won't happen probably in that for lack of a better maybe word, lion or bear, muscled by the government perhaps. But we hope that these structures will become better in place so that the person who's put in their best effort does not lose a big chunk of their income. So I think the right structures will help, build the industry, because it will be, this is a very young industry. It just started getting traction on the continent. For someone to come and take a big chunk of what someone has put in the effort will do the negative as compared to bring the positive that comes with building a new industry.
As a developer, one concern I usually have whenever I make a game, okay, it's kind of like how I walk on an ethical line, where it's like you could make a game that could basically just be throwing your morals away and just say for the sake of making money. Like I could make a gambling game because right now gambling has taken the nation by storm. Is that something that would be endorsed, or like how do we go about that? How do you make sure that your game doesn't fall into that category where it now exploits something that's already a problem?
We in the video games as well as in the esports space, we are categorically saying that video game and esports is not gambling. So we do not encourage gambling, because it does the negative as compared to enabling people. So for those developers who are looking to build games, we usually encourage them to build games that perhaps yes have a good monetization angle, but not necessarily push the idea that with a game you'll make more money. That's not the idea of video games. Video games is all about competitiveness. Some of the games are educational, which bring about more value to the player. So for us, it's we will keep preaching this song so that more people see that we in the video games are not supporting gambling or betting.
From at least my perspective, I've seen situations where like a young child takes a game that you've developed and they somehow master it even more better than you yourself, the developer. So do you think that's an avenue that we need to exploit, where you target your games towards young children?
I think especially when you look at educational games that I've mentioned, these are games that like if you look at literacy, mathematical, grammar, games can help a young kid from even a young age be able to quickly gather this information, process it, because they're having fun, but they're also getting to learn something at the end of the day.
All right. So now personally, do you game?
Myself not. I'm just interested in the business of video games and esports.
Well, that's very dull. It's very dull. You have to indulge once in a while.
I'll try. I keep trying. I think I'm getting there. So I think the more I engage with more esports players and developers, at least I believe I'll also become quite a good gamer.
Okay. So I look forward to working with you going forward. At least hopefully you can help me get my game out there. Yeah, more downloads and hopefully some income.
Thanks for this discussion. I think also maybe something I'd like to say is that perhaps for anyone who's out there, esports is actually quite a good, it's actually a growing industry. I just wanted to say that it's a 1 billion industry and it's growing. Africa is also catching up. We do have bigger, within the ecosystem, we do want more partners to join us on this journey. For esports also requires good connectivity, for example. So we do have partners like Liquid Telecom who are supporting the ecosystem, not just in Kenya but across. So we look forward to getting more partners to come and join us on this journey.
All right.
Thank you so much for having watched the show. Hope you've learned a thing from the conversation between Kevlin and Douglas from the African Esports Championship. Look, if you're out there and you're a good player in Tekken, FIFA, all that, you can register on the African Esports Championship for an opportunity to win a good prize money, actually, $500 and above. And if you want to be a part of the show or like to just, reach in touch with us, just follow us on our social media handles, which are running below the screen. So until next time, I'll see you right here on The Business Coach, where we help entrepreneurs better their businesses.